Hello, this video is going to show you how to create note cards and organize note cards using NoodleTools. So for your research project for English 3, you are going to use the note cards function in NoodleTools to organize your notes for each of your sources, so each of your 8 sources. So the first thing that we need to go through are the ways that you can create note cards, and there's 2 ways to do this. The first is from your sources page on your NoodleTools project, you can just click on the link that says New next to the source that you are pulling information from. So if I click New, you'll notice the note card pops up, and on the note card the URL to the source and then also the source citation that came from the NoodleTools project is already included. Now, another way that you could go about creating note cards is to click on the note cards link along the top and then click this green button here that says New. Now from here, you would have to then select the source from the list, and that's it. Now notice when you do this, the URL is not included. So I would recommend creating note cards directly from your source page if you're able to. Okay, so now from here we're going to talk about the 4 elements to your note card that you absolutely need to make sure you have. Everything else aside from this is optional. All right, so first of all, your source needs to be, your note card needs to be linked to a source. So that is, again, already done for you if you create your note cards from the main source page. Then the second thing you need to have, of course, is the information from your source. So you have 2 options for doing this. One, you can just copy and paste a direct quotation directly from your source into this box, or if you want to either summarize information or paraphrase it, so putting it into your own words, you can use this box over here. I'm going to copy and paste directly from my article. Okay. Now, the other thing that that you should do if you are using a source that has page numbers is include the page number that the information came from right here. The other option is you could create the citation directly on the note card. So if this if this came from page 2, I could put the page number here. It's totally up to you. But again, if your source does have page numbers, you should keep track of the page number where this information came from. Okay, so the other thing to keep in mind about the information that you're including on the note cards is that it should be short. So small bits of information, a sentence, maybe 2, but you really shouldn't be including any more than that. So the third component of your note cards is a title. So you'll type it right up here. So ideas, typically your title will include just a brief note to remind you of what this note card is about. So again, this information comes from one of the Room for Debate articles in support of giving kids participation trophies. So I'm looking at this, and this reminds me of teaching success or whatever. Again, you can come up with your own title. If you just want to number your note cards for each source, that's fine too. Totally up to you. All right, so the last thing that you need to do with your note cards eventually is put them into piles. And remember, your piles are going to be the main ideas that you are going to write about on your website about your topic. So what might be useful when you're first starting out is using the tags box down here to record the main ideas that you are recognizing in your articles. Of course, this can always change, but just starting to recognize the main ideas that are coming out of your articles will help you group them later. So this particular piece of information supports the main idea about acknowledging effort. So I might write this down as a tag, and then as I'm taking notes for the rest of my articles, I'll probably end up having a number of different note cards that have the tag acknowledge effort, and then that will help me group them later. All right, so I click Save and Close. So here's the note card that I just wrote, right? Now remember, my tag here is that it was acknowledging effort. I already have a pile that's started, so I can click and drag this into my pile. Okay? Now, the other thing that I can do is create piles. just by clicking Manage Pile if I wanted to. As I continue to create new note cards and I want to create new piles, all I have to do is drag them one on top of the other, and then I'm prompted to create a pile name. So let's say this main point was about the participant versus winner main idea. Oh, I guess I already have that pile. History. Alright, so now I have a new pile. So any note cards that I create that would match this main idea, I can just drag and drop them into this pile.